The relationship of books and film. So when a film is made from book, it is called adaptation. From the beginning, filmmakers have made film based on novels, short stories, biographies, and plays. Of these adaptations, novels have always been the most popular choice. So the question is, why do filmmakers so often decide to adapt novels instead of creating their own stories? The first reason is the materials already exist, so why not use it? Film producers hope that the popularity of a novel will ensure the popularity of the film. When it comes in book, we call them bestsellers, but when it comes in film, we call them blockbusters. The second reason is readers seems to be interested in seeing adaptations of books. So the adaptations of books from being very faithful to the book, it becomes loosely based on books. That is the difference or the adaptation of book to film. Whatever else it may be, an adaptation is always an interpretation, involving somebody's personal views of the books and choices of elements to retain, reproduce, change, or leave out. A film is not just an illustration version of the book. It is a totally different medium. When adapting the novel, the filmmaker has to leave out a number of things for the very simple reasons of time difference and because the medium is different. On the other hand, things can be added to the film because the medium requires it or because they will be more effective on the screen. Like a translator, the filmmaker who adapts is bent on a double task. First, some sort of fidelity to the original work, and creation of new work of art in a different medium. So what is the main difference between the two media? The common answers are, the writer uses words, the filmmaker uses pictures. In a book, the scene is described. In a film, the scene is depicted. This is basically true, but things are obviously more complicated. In books, the writer uses narrative, description, dialogue, interior monologues, or expression of thoughts, and figurative languages. In film, the filmmaker uses pictures and sounds. Despite the growing popularity of adaptation, there are lots of concerns and arguments against adaptations, and they're not all for the same reasons. One such argument is that adaptation works against the uniqueness of film. Film is its own creative art form, and using other works to adapt them to film stifles that creativity and prevents original work from being produced. This growing popularity of adaptations not only dissolves the barrier between literature and film, but it creates a stigma that film is there to serve as another medium for which to display literature, rather than existing as its own separate entity capable of narrative merit. But the disdain against adaptation doesn't seem to stem simply from the viewpoint that adaptations should not be made at all, but rather that they shouldn't be made into film. Quoted, "It does seem to be more or less acceptable to adapt Romeo and Juliet into a respected high art form like an opera or a ballet, but not to make it into a movie," by Ha-Chuan Tri. So the concern is not that adapting will reduce the quality of the original work, but it is actually the form of medium it is being translated to that matter. In this case, a film is thought to lower the original, causing the general disdain for adapting works of literature, particularly classics, into film. People are innately attracted to the familiar. What they know won't let them down is comforting. This is the reason directors and producers keep churning out adaptations, because they know that they will sell. Adaptation inherently comes with a pre-established fan base. If the original work has already gathered a following, then the possibilities of making money are greater than with an original script. There is, of course, a variety of the reasons behind this audience's attendance. These are some that will attend an adaptation simply because they want to remember their original experience with a book fondly. There are also those who will want to uphold the standards of the original by scrutinizing every detail and comparing it by evaluating its faithfulness to its source. There will be the people who are so against adaptations that they just want to watch an adaptation crash and burn. And then there will always be those who have never even read the original work but feel like they should have and will therefore use this adaptation as means to say, in the loop. Whatever the case, there is no denying that adaptations sell. This gives some further insights into the phenomenon of the popularity of adaptations despite their reputation as lesser and inferior art. Then there's, of course, the relationship of book to film in terms of how faithful the adaptation is to its original source. Many critics' views are that faithfulness is not a matter for textual analysis but rather for work on the way adaptations are received. Faithfulness matters if it matters to the viewer. Strictly following the original source to the letter only becomes an issue when the intended audience is expecting it to demanding it. This is especially important when dealing with iconic works such as Victor Hugo's Les Miserables, or with works that already have a very large and faithful following like Twilight, Harry Potter, Hunger Games, or Lord of the Rings. There are also many critics and reviewers that put themselves in the role of the viewer who has not only read the book, but is expecting the film to be faithful to it. This is a mistake. Critics should not pretend to be the fan base of the original work and should not pretend to be a fan base of the original work and in turn analyze an adaptation on the basis of its faithfulness to the original book. They should instead view the adaptation as an art form in and of itself and judge it accordingly, focusing instead of its literary and cinematographic merit apart from its source. Whether one is for or against adaptations, disregarding them is lesser art is a mistake because we will ultimately be closing off on the opportunity to experience both cinema and literature in a different light, one that only adapts can provide. Quotation: "An adaptation is always, whatever else it may be, an interpretation, and if this is one way of understanding the nature of adaptations and the relationship of any given film to the book that inspired it, it's also a way of understanding what may bring such a film into being in the first place. The chance the chance to offer an analysis and appreciation of one work of art through another by Lupac. It is important to give credit to both an adaptation as well as the original work. Although it is true that an adaptation wouldn't exist without the original work, an adaptation should be respected as its own work as well.
Ang paggawa ng isang movie galing sa libro ay hindi lamang basta-basta sinusundan ng mga dialogue nito. Kailangan nito ng mahababang proseso para ma-achieve ang tunay na istorya nito. Sa pagbabasa ng libro, mas kinikilala natin ang katauhan ng isang karakter. Mas nasusubaybayan natin ang buhay ng isang nagnanarrate. Hindi tulad sa film, maaaring mawala ang nagnanarrate dahil ang takbo ng kwento ay nakadepende sa director, sa cast at mga producer ng pelikula. Dahil mas pinaprioritize nila sa kung paano nila mapapakita ang naisiparating ng kwento. Ang malaking pagkakaiba kasi ng libro sa pelikula ay mas naaasahan natin ang ating imahinasyon pagdating sa pagbabasa ng libro. Unlike sa film, kung ano na yung nakikita natin sa screen, yun na yun at hindi na tayo mapapaisip pa. Film also does not allow us the same freedom a novel does to interact with plot or characters by imagining them in our minds. For some viewers, this is the most frustrating aspect for turning a novel into a film. At hanggang dyan na tayo ngayon, sana marami kayong natutunan sa akin. And this is Jasmine Essential for Ask Me! Bye!
Hi, kamusta? Ang pag-uusapan natin ngayon ay tungkol sa mga film journals na pinapalabas at sikat pa rin hanggang ngayon. Kaya ano mga hintay natin? Dalilan pag-usapan. Number 1, comedy. Sa hirap ng buhay ngayon, hindi natin mapigilang mag-isip at malungkot. Kaya isa sa mga solusyon dyan ay ang panonood ng mga nakakatawang palabas para naman kahit konti makapag-relax tayo at mabuwasan ng konting lungkot. Remember, laughter is the best medicine.
Dalawang mukha pangalan, nakakatakot na. Apat pa kaya?
Chong, my twin brother is a criminal. Yan ang hindi ko matatanggap at tawagin mo akong criminal? Brother!
Ipaliwanag mo, hindi ka naman kriminal talaga, di ba?
Ang sakit ng batok ko. I invoke my right against self-incrimination. Hindi ko po alam. Oh my God! Oh my God!
Ganito na ba talaga tayo kadami para mag-cause ng traffic?
Ibang traffic yung pinag-uusapan namin. Palibhasa wala ka alam sa trafficking ang alam mo lang smoke belching. Basta kahit anong sabihin mo, hindi ko ibibigay ang liver ko sa'yo. Para mo nang hawak. Palimos ng liver. Pasa load hindi ko kayang gawin. Pasa liver pa! Parang tulog ng piano. Ba't hindi mo subukan? Madali lang mo ito. Sabay nyo na yung kaset. Oo, nagtambal kami. Pero pati ba naman akin kung kailangan ko i-share? Kailangan. Bakit? Para it's a tie. Boy, bakla to, boy!
Number 2, drama. Buhay na buhay pa din ang mga ganitong klase ng palabas hanggang ngayon. Dahil sa nakaka-relate tayo sa storya. At bigay na bigay tayo pagdating sa iyakan portion. Hindi natin mapigilang umiyak.
Hi, I'm JD. Have coffee with me.
Dahil gusto mo, makukuha mo.
What is this?
This, my dear, is your gift to me. Don't worry, Rico. Mas cheap ito kaysa sa balak mong iwan sa kabit mo.
Liligawan kita.
JD, alam mo naman.
Yep, I know. I'm not giving up.
Gusto mo ba siya?
Pwede ka ba siyang gustuhin?
Are you falling in love with me?
Oo. Pero
Sorry.
hindi ko naman si Rico.
Ba't di mo siya maiwan?
Umalis ka na.
Is it the money?
Mukha bang pera yung habol ko sa kanya?
Kundi pera, ano? Sex.
Kung oo, titigilan mo na ba?
No, because I bet you I'm a damn better lover!
Tama na!
You enjoy being some old man's dirty little secret!
Wala babaeng pinangarap maging kabit!
Then get out!
Presents an Olivia M. Lamasan film, a four-sided love story of a wife.
Layuan mo ang asawa ko. Tagalog yan para maintindihan mo.
The benefactor. You are so beautiful. The lover.
Ang daming dahilan para hindi kita mahalin. Pero may isang dahilan kung ba't di ka magawa yan. Mahal kita. Yun lang yun.
And the mistress.
Number 3, horror. Gusto natin manood ng ganun. Pero, nanonood ka para matakot din. Nanonood ka, tapos matatakot ka din. Ano yan? Parang, wala lang. Gusto lang natin mag-explore kung anong klase ng story yung papalabas. More terrifying, more exciting.
Sino yung kasama mo? Sino yung kasama mo? May ayaw maniwala.
Sige na ba?
May gustong magbabala.
Ano ba? Wag! Hindi nyo ba alam na masama yun?
Mauna na po kami. Pasensya na po.
Sige po.
May gustong manadya.
Masama ang sumusuway sa pamahiin.
May gustong ang mali gawing tama.
Kailangan doon natin magpagpag.
Dito totoo yung mga pamahiin.
Dapat nagpapagpag ka. Paano kung sundan ka dito ng kaluluwa ng patay?
Mas malaki ang mawawala kung nilabag mo ang bawal. Bawal yan.
Una si Hana. Tapos si Rico.
Bawal yan.
Anong nakita mo?
Yung multo dun sa buron.
Bawal yan.
Nilabas na napamahiin?
Huwag kang umuwi agad pagkaling ka sa patay. Magpagpag ka.
Huwag ka mag-alala. Di ko hahayaang may mangyari sa inyo.
Sino yung kasama mo? Hindi ko kasi nagpagpag.
Babalik pa ho ba kami, Manang Elsa? Mangyayari ang mangyayari.
May hila?
Ilan ba kayo magpapahiling?
May sakit si Manang Elsa. Ilang araw na rin siyang tumigil sa panggagamot.
Manang Elsa, si Seth po ito! May mga kasama po ako at magpapagamot lang po! Nung umuwi tayo galing sa hiling, binangungot ka ba nung gabi?
Sinabi ko na sa inyo noon na hindi na siya pwedeng maghiling.
Ayoko maglibing ng anak. natin gawin ang dapat gawin para maputol ang supa.
Number 4, romance. Ito ang kadalasang inaabangan ng lahat. Hindi lang dahil sa gwapo o magandang artista. Kundi dahil sa nadadal tayo sa mga makapapilig ng mga scenes nila. Kaya ako minsan naman,
Yeah, but you will forever be my little baby girl.
And I love you for that.
And I love you. And I love you too.
And I know you do.
Let's start over.
Hindi ko pwede gawin yan.
Pagkatapos ng lahat, yung condo, the jewelry, the travel trips, this, the business, eh kung gaganti mo sa akin,
Mahal ko si Emma.
ikaw, isasama kita. Halika na, masasahan ng tubig ka.
All this time, iniisip ko kung anong pagkukulang ko. Para ipagpalit mo ako. Audrey, andito na ako. Pwede ka na umalis. Oo nga naman. Tapos na ang papel ng asawa. It's caregiver time.
Audrey.
Sorry, pero no contest. Bata ako.
Eh, no contest naman pala eh. Eh, bakit ngayon kumakasta ka parang kabit ka pa rin?
Ay! Ano ba?
Hindi mo pinupalit mo sa akin? Kasada ko, akala mo, hindi ko alam. May schedule ng lalaki niyan sa pagitan mo at ang asawa niya.
Will you stop it? Stop what? Alam mo, hindi ko alam kung nagbubulag-bulagan ka ba o niloloko mo sarili mo. Pero kung gusto mo magtanga-tanga, huwag mo kainamay. I'd rather na meron siyang isang ama na hindi niya inaasahan kaysa isang ama na inaasahan niya that always lies to her.
Noong nakitang nakilala, isa ka ng struggling beauty queen sa Cubao. Anong pinagmamalaki mo ngayon at ganyan ka makapagsalita?
Nakahanap ako ng lalaki, ng tunay na lalaki. Tsaka ano ngayon sa'yo kung miss ko ba ako, ha? Palibasa, sungkit ka! Hi, I'm Jenny. I'm the daughter of the man you stole from my mother. At the end of the day, sa akin pa rin umuwi si Emma. Kaagapay, kasi kawawa ko naman, Audrey. I'm sure ini-imagine mo kung anong kaya kong gawin na hindi mo magawa. Emma, please!
Kasi,
Alam mo kung maligaya ako, maghahanap ako ng ibang babae.
Football player. Sinita ko. Hinahabol-habol.
binuhusan kita. Binuhusan kita ng pera at ginawa kitang tao.
Huwag ka dito kumain. Doon ka sa eat all you can. Palibasa mukha ka naman masibang tao. Diyan hindi makontento sa isang ulo. Huwag mong gamitin yung anak niyo para akitin ulit si Eman. Pinagpalit ka na niya. Ako na yung mahal niya.
He's gone.
Nandiyan ba ang asawa ko na asawa mo na asawa ng buong bayan?
at dito na magtatapos ang ating gantuhan. Salamat sa panonood. This is Kuya Joy. See you later. Bye!